In the quietest corners of your mind, where no one else can hear, you are always speaking to yourself, telling stories, whispering fears, sculpting dreams, or planting doubts. And whether you realize it or not, this internal dialogue shapes your destiny more than any external voice ever could. Long before modern psychology discovered the power of affirmations and visualization, the ancient Stoics understood this truth intimately. They knew that if you could master the way you speak to yourself, you could master the very rhythm of your existence. So imagine, just for a moment, that every word you say internally is a spell, every thought a chisel shaping the marble of your soul. Now ask yourself, are you building a temple of greatness, or are you carving a prison of limitation? Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And in that one line, he echoed a truth that resonates through eternity. The Stoics believe that our internal dialogue must align with our highest virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Not just to survive life's trials, but to rise above them, to transform chaos into clarity and suffering into serenity. But in a world that is always shouting, pulling, demanding, how do you find a stillness to hear your inner voice and recalibrate its tone to something divine? It begins not with loud declarations, but with gentle awareness. In the hush of early morning, before the world wakes, speak to yourself like you would a loved one. Calm, encouraging, unwavering. You are not your failures, not your fears, not the judgments others place upon you. You are what you consistently believe about yourself. And those beliefs are built word by word, day by day. Picture yourself walking through a dense forest, each thought a tree, each emotion a breeze guiding your path. And the way you speak to yourself becomes the compass. If your compass is fractured by self-doubt, every step leads deeper into confusion. But if it's attuned to truth, acceptance, and self-respect, even the darkest woods can become sacred ground. Stoicism teaches us not to suppress emotions, but to observe them like clouds passing through the sky of our consciousness. And it is here, in this detachment, that power is born. When you feel anger rise, do not say, "I am angry," say, "Anger is present." When fear grips you, do not whisper, "I am afraid," say, "Fear has entered." This subtle shift from identification to observation is the first step in alchemy. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness behind them, the witness that cannot be broken. And from this perspective, you can begin to design the architecture of a mind that magnetizes strength, clarity, and fulfillment. Daily, tell yourself things that are beautiful and true. Say, "I am disciplined, I am growing, I am becoming." Not because you wish to deceive yourself, but because these words are seeds, and with time, with repetition, they grow roots that reshape your subconscious. This isn't about blind positivity, it's about alignment. It's about anchoring your speech to principles that expand you, not imprison you. The Stoics weren't dreamers. They were grounded realists who believed in confronting life exactly as it is while preparing the mind to respond with strength and grace. So when life throws shadows across your path, don't curse the dark. Speak to yourself with unwavering resolve. "This too shall refine me." When others abandon or misunderstand you, don't spiral into self-loathing. Say, "I remain complete." When uncertainty rattles your plans, don't collapse into panic. Instead, breathe deep and declare, "The obstacle becomes the way." These are not just philosophical phrases. They are shields for the soul, forged through millennia of wisdom. Every morning is a ritual, and every internal conversation is an invocation. You must become a priest of your own mind, purifying your thoughts through repetition and reverence. Say your intentions like prayers. Visualize the best version of yourself not as fantasy, but as prophecy. Marcus Aurelius did not become an emperor through bloodline alone. He ruled the empire of his mind first, conquering his impulses, sharpening his reason, and kneeling only to virtue. What if you began to see your life that way? Not as a random sequence of events, but as a sacred journey guided by the power of your own inner dialogue? Every time you falter, whisper, "This is my lesson." Every time you triumph, remind yourself, "This is my nature." Your words are not passive, they are forces. And like all forces, they can build or break, summon or scatter, ignite or extinguish. The Stoic path is not about rejecting desire, but refining it, aligning what you want with what is just, wise, and lasting. So if you want peace, speak peace. If you seek clarity, speak clarity. If you long for love, speak love into every crevice of your being. Become fluent in the language of virtue. Become a poet of purpose. And when the world grows chaotic, retreat not into silence, but into sanctuary, the inner temple where your highest thoughts reside, where the voice inside you becomes your guide, your guardian, your greatest ally. For when you speak to yourself with dignity, the world mirrors that back. And then, without force, without frantic effort, you begin to attract what resonates with that frequency. You draw on people who respect your boundaries. You stumble upon opportunities that match your courage. You encounter challenges that polish you instead of breaking you. Because you've tuned your inner voice to a frequency of resilience, the universe hears you clearly. It recognizes the language of self-mastery. And in response, it offers you not perfection, but power. The power to face imperfection without flinching. This is what the Stoics knew, that freedom doesn't come from changing the world, but from mastering the way we meet it within. So as you move forward, remember that the words you say to yourself are the blueprint of your future. Say them with care. Say them with courage. Say them with love. For in doing so, you are not just speaking. You are summoning a life of unshakable meaning. And now, as the echoes of your own voice begin to quiet and settle like dew on a still morning, you find yourself standing at the edge of something ancient and eternal. Not a place, but a knowing. You've walked through the corridors of inner resistance, listened to the voice that once doubted, once hesitated, once trembled. But that voice, yes, that voice, is no longer the master here. Something deeper has awakened, something wiser, something you've always carried, hidden beneath the noise and chaos of the world. And it whispers, not with command, but with calm certainty. You are always more powerful than you knew. The Stoics never promised an easy life. They never painted dreams in gold. What they offered was far more precious, a map to navigate reality as it is, and not as we wish it to be. That map, dear seeker, is now in your hands. From this moment forward, how you speak to yourself will shape what you see, what you believe, and what you attract. The outer world may still tremble. It may still rage, betray, or bewilder. But your inner world, that kingdom, will no longer fall to siege. Why? Because you now stand guard at the gates. Every thought is a visitor. Every word, a torch or a chain. And you, the keeper, the sentry, decide what enters and what is cast away. Speak to yourself like a sculptor chiseling marble from stone. Be deliberate. Be precise. Let no careless judgment harden into identity. Let no passing fear become prophecy. You are not here to simply react. You are here to design, to architect, to co-create with the divine silence that surrounds all sound. And when you speak, truly speak, with intention and soul, the entire cosmos listens, not as an echo chamber, but as a partner in manifestation. Perhaps no one told you this before, but it is time you hear it. You are a spellbinding force of becoming. You do not need to shout to the heavens. You need only to whisper truth into the soil of your being and watch as the garden blooms in time. You are allowed to be powerful. You are allowed to be peaceful. You are allowed to speak to yourself with reverence, not as a critic, but as a companion. And when you do, the world begins to match that tone. Challenges no longer arrive to break you, but to shape you. Relationships no longer drain, but reflect. Desires no longer chase you into restlessness, but flow to meet you in alignment. That is not magic. That is clarity. That is Stoicism in motion. It was never about denying the storms. It was about building the ship within. It was never about forcing the universe to obey. It was about fine-tuning your inner frequency so that life could respond in harmony. Your thoughts are not empty. They are vibrations. Your self-talk is not idle. It is an invocation. And if you were to hear every single word you say internally echo out into the world, would you speak differently? Would you speak gently? Would you dare to speak as if you were sacred? Start now. Speak like every sentence is a thread weaving the fabric of your fate. Speak like your voice is a candle guiding you through the dark. Speak like the universe has been waiting for you to remember who you are. Because it has. Because it always will. When you wake tomorrow, say something beautiful to yourself. Say it before the world intrudes. Say it before your doubts begin their morning chant. Say it not because it will change everything overnight, but because it will change you. And you, dear soul, are the architect of everything you touch. Speak of courage, and you will walk with it. Speak of wisdom, and you will begin to see with it. Speak of peace, and you will start to breathe it. Speak of love, and you will radiate it. Speak of destiny, and it will rise to meet you. This is not a performance. This is remembrance. This is the Stoic path, quiet, steady, unshakable. You do not control the winds, but you do control the sails. And those sails are the words you whisper when no one else is watching. In the end, the true battlefield is not outside. It is within. And the greatest victories are won not through domination, but through discipline. Not through conquest, but through clarity. To speak to yourself with power is not arrogance. It is alignment. To speak to yourself with compassion is not weakness. It is wisdom. To speak to yourself with purpose is not fantasy. It is foundation. And so, when the world tempts you to collapse inward, when your past begs you to wear old wounds like armor, when your fears rise like ghosts of forgotten doubts, stand tall in your inner temple and speak, I am still here. I'm still whole. I am still becoming. This is your practice now. Not once, not twice, but always. The world outside may not change overnight, but the world inside, your sacred chamber of thought and word, has already shifted. It has remembered something old, something divine, something true. And from that remembrance, a new life begins to bloom. Slowly, surely, unshakably. So speak, not to impress, not to pretend, but to call forth the version of you who is already rising, already waiting, already home.